Just a little tease right quick to remind you guys to sign up for the October challenge with Kiara LaShae on ifyoucanmove.com. The link is down below in the description box. Y'all know I went from a large to a medium, and I just found out that I won for most referrals on the Hip Hop Tabata challenge from August, so I'm so excited. Okay, I just actually just finished working out with Kiara. I did like 2 workouts, which were like an hour today. I love her so much. Her energy is so amazing, and I'm so happy that I'm in this place, y'all, because I love, like, I'm cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was cute before, but I'm super cute now, and I can't wait to see what I look like after the October challenge. Lyric is actually joining me. My husband is joining me for the October challenge, which starts on October 11th. If you're going to, you know, become a part of the challenge, I need you guys to go on the site, sign up, okay? Tell them that I sent you, okay? And also get your weighted bands, okay? Get your booty bands so you can be fully engulfed in this. You definitely need the weighted bands for Trap and Tone October 11th, you guys, okay? So y'all make sure y'all sign up. I'm so excited. All right, y'all. And also, please don't forget about this ISOT. I know that y'all stay trying to, you know, say, oh, y'all scamming people. Look, okay, why would I be buying it and using it myself? Am I scamming myself? That don't even make sense. Look at me, okay? It's all been a part of the journey. And if you want to try, you can get your money back. Like, if you know, want to try the samples and you don't like it, you can get your money back, the whole 9, okay? It's easy peasy if you just want to try it out. I would definitely suggest it if you're working out and everything. If you have like some stomach issues and, you know, you're always trying to regulate, I would definitely suggest getting the tea, because whenever we're like feeling nauseous or our stomach is upset, we drink the tea, we feel better, we use the bathroom, okay? So get into. Well, anyway, I hope you guys join the challenge, and let's get into whatever video you're about to watch. So y'all, this is Power. How y'all doing? Power has been good, y'all. I'm actually liking the show. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, and I'm invested. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So Monet, y'all know that's Mary J. Blige. Y'all, we was listening to MJB in this bit earlier. Did y'all see that Mary J. Blige invited Megan Thee Stallion to come on the boat? They was going on the yacht, and she must have been like, you know, somebody, you know, tell somebody to call Meg and ask her to come down. I was like, that's so amazing. I have been saying for the longest that I want like people in the industry who are real and who will mean her well and uplift her to reach out to her. And Mary J. Blige is definitely one of those women in the industry that I feel like has been a friend to other women in the industry. You know, even though Jaguar Wright don't like her, everybody else do. Okay, so shout out to Mary out there. I'm not gonna do it, but y'all, I was feeling Mary early. Yeah, okay. So Monet is giving Tariq the rules on the game at the beginning of the episode. I don't know why she feel the need to give him the rules. He already know the rules. He learned them from his mama and his daddy and his uncle. Okay? Not new to this, true to this. Tariq goes to meet with Stern, but his new husband, much younger, I might add, Bash, is there in his place, okay? And Tariq tells him how he wants to use an app to basically outsource and help, you know, kids with tutoring. You know, you hit up the app, you tell me which subject you want, I send over a tutor. Bam. Okay, you want everything at your doorstep, you want tutoring at your doorstep too. I'm like, he is so smart, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I knew that they were going to take this direction with Tariq because it was important to show the intelligence level. It was important to show all of the ways in which he was good, so we would like him. Because otherwise, we would have hated him the way we did for the rest of the 6 seasons of Power. But he tells Bash that he wants this app business all cash. Don't wire me no money. Just give me all my money in cash, like a true dope boy. He points out that he's noticed that Bash is an opportunist, okay? Because he's way too eager to make all this extra money off Stern, like Stern isn't already rich, okay? But they decide to handle the business under the table without Stern knowing for an extra 5% to Bash. Bash asked for 15%, but Tariq was like, 5%. Tasha calls on the burner phone telling Tyreek to go and get a gun and protect himself. She knows that he's out there selling to pay for Davis. And Tyreek says that he doesn't need a gun. Okay, it's hard enough going around campus, you know, as a young black man. He doesn't need to have a gun on him as well. And she tells him about all of these little spots around the city where his daddy and Tommy used to hide guns in case they had to, you know, make a run for it and they needed some recovery. You know, if they needed something, a totally something hot to keep them safe in these streets. There were a few spots where they have guns hidden. And she sends Tyreek the address so he can go there and get one of them. That's some smart shit. I swear they was out there scratching and surviving drug dealing. So the Canonical Studies class has an internship available in DC, and it also will help someone graduate, Tyreek, in 3 years instead of 4, okay? Now, Lauren has an old man in DC, okay? So she's trying to do this internship as well, but I don't think it's about the boyfriend, okay? Light-skinned Keisha was like, man in DC, and she was like, don't nobody care about him, okay? To me, it seems as if Lauren is probably in a relationship with a young man who she thinks her parents want her to be with, and not somebody that she's truly into. So Lauren goes up to Professor Reynolds after class to ask him what he's looking for in a fellow, you know, for the fellowship. Okay, and he, you know, is basically saying how, you know, a good balance of school and extracurricular activities. The whole time he's giving her sweet in the eyes, okay, smiles and sweet on the eyes, okay. You men know when y'all Omarion sweet around the eyes, okay, and Professor Reynolds is Omarion sweet around the eyes. Okay, he's obviously flirting with Lauren, and Lauren is like, okay, so why don't we have dinner so we can like discuss it and go over like what you're, you know, really wanting and expecting. And he's like, okay, great. And she was like, yeah, we'll have it at my parents'. And I think that's when he understood that she wasn't flirting with him, okay? Meanwhile, Professor Zoe, Professor Milgram, and Tyreek are all like standing around ear hustling. So he says, well, you should also invite Professor Milgram, and we should also invite another student. And Tyreek is like, oh, I'll come, you know, for the optics. I'll come. Monet and Bobby Brown meet up with GTG under the bridge so that they can have a conversation about how they've been moving out here in these streets. I don't know why stupid ass people think doing illegal shit online is a new wave that they on and old people just ain't on it. Like, no, stupid ass. You giving people the video evidence to hang you with, and you ain't hard enough to be quiet so they know that you putting their business in their lives in jeopardy by getting your ass on the internet and doing illegal stuff online like they ain't watching. Monet says they have to cut their supply since they act like they don't know how to act. And we can't kill y'all and put hands on y'all, so we're going to have to hit y'all where it hurt in y'all pockets. When they turn around and walk away, Lil Guap calls her puta. She turns around and has to stop Bobby Brown from raising up on him. She's like, what you said? No, I want you to say it to my face, pendejo. Okay? And right before he can say it, because he wanted to say it, right before he can say it, Bobby Brown, pow, and then beats him into the ground until he was unconscious. And one of his homeboys was about to reach for the gun, and she was like, you really want to do that? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, this ain't going to just be no regular kill, okay? No, you're going to be worrying about your mama, your baby mama, your kids, your grandmama, everybody, if you pull that gun on him. When they walk away, she like, damn, you whipped his ass. And he like, ain't that what you wanted me to do? Which lets us know that this is why you're not the brain, okay? And you are the brawn, because your mama been training you up to be that way. You doing this not because you wanted to, but because you feel like that's what she wanted you to do. The fact that you already anticipating when she wants you to whip somebody's ass says that she has trained you up in this way, Bobby Brown. And that just also says a lot about people's, you know, terrible parenting. Braden and Tyreek talk about Scott. Y'all know that's the little, you know, dopey drug dealer that's selling his little pills and weed on campus. Ain't really nothing, though. They'll knock him off easy. But he's going around campus talking about he's going to beat whoever's selling on his turf's ass. It's like, boy, if you don't stop. Tyreek says they don't have time for that. They're about to open up shop. And Tyreek gets the student aid kids to help them tutor and sell, okay? Because these are the kids that need money and they're smart enough to tutor, okay? So they send out samples to folks like light-skinned Keisha with a real study guide attached to it so that they can cover their tracks. So basically, they'll have all of the different classes, and each class will represent a certain drug. And if you pay for the premium package, which is usually $200 more than a regular $50 price, then that's the drugs, okay? That's how it works. It's actually quite genius, but it's too immediate, expedient, and easy for y'all not to get caught. Y'all gonna get caught because kids don't know how to keep shit to themselves. especially when somebody catches y'all because somebody was slipping. And they like, well, where did you get this from? Well, it's from an app. Well, now we got to figure out who was doing the app. Okay, and then they're going to go to bashing them. And then bashing them going to tell on Ty. Like, either way, somebody going to get told on. Tyreek goes to see Davis and asks why he's spending his money on stupid shit like the mock trial. And Davis says it was an experiment so that we know never to put your mother on stand. And Tyreek is like, well, if y'all so smart, why haven't y'all figured out to put me on the stand? And he's like, because any son is going to protect his mother. Nobody's going to believe you. That's why. Davis says they're going to try to get Saxe thrown off the case because it's obvious that he's had some malfeasance in office, okay? He's definitely handled things illegally. And there should be enough information out there and people who can attest to that, Tamika Rodriguez, who can basically get him thrown off the case. That's the idea. Tyreek drops the money, okay, all in cash on his desk, and Paula is like, it's obvious that he's selling drugs. Like, we're not stupid. It's obvious little Tyreek is selling drugs. And Davis is like, that's none of our business. Okay, take this money. Tasha thinks that she's being watched in prison. So she rolled up on, I think the girl name was Layla, who she gave the Plan B pill to. She thinks she think they friends now, something. And she was like, you gonna make her come over here the way you staring at her, because Tasha thinks Rockaletta Moss is the one that's watching her, not even peeping the maintenance guy to her left that's watching her. She's just not paying attention. And it's like, did you grow up in these streets or not, Tasha? Like, come on now, girl. So Davis and Saxe have to argue in front of the judge. And y'all know Davis is basically saying that Saxe broke the law with the way he handled the case, speaking to Tyreek alone without his parents, for one. Okay, the judge says that she will allow Davis to present the cases in order to possibly get Saxe thrown out. That was good enough, okay? So now they have to hear argument about why he should get thrown off the case. They had to have an argument about whether that evidence should even be allowed in the first place. So Monet goes into the kitchen, hears the kids talking, and tells them that they just all started working with Tyreek. And she asks Drew what he feels about it. And Bobby Brown says, we don't need to be working with his bougie ass. And she's like, I'm talking to Drew. Okay? Drew says that Tyreek seems smart, seems like he knows what he's doing. Diana says that they need to find out how he's selling all of the drugs, how he's operating out there. And so she's like, okay, well, Drew, you go and find out. Diana wanted to go, but Monet doesn't want Diana and Tyreek to happen. So she sends Drew anyway. Bobby Brown is pissed off, and she has to tell him that he needs to stay in his lane. He ain't the brains, he the brawn. Drew goes to see Tyreek with drugs in his damn book bag. I'm like, oh my God, y'all are just, I mean, how is that street smart? Never mind. Braden comes in with ice cream asking if Drew is the plug. And I'm like, when are you gonna learn not to say shit like that in front of people you don't know? Oh my God. Then Drew follows him to an art class and he has to pick a partner, and it's not Tyreek, so he actually partners with this basketball player who's obviously gay, and there's some flirtation there, and eventually Tyreek is able to skedaddle while Drew is macking on the basketball player, and they take it back to the basketball player's dorm room and get into some nasty things. Saxe is basically being left out to dry by Mock and Connor as it pertains to this whole situation with the judge and Davis trying to get him thrown off, okay? The investigator comes in and says that they can't find out how Tyreek is paying Davis. Saxe wants him to tell Tyreek, but the investigator says, you promised me this would be by the book, and following a minor ain't it. Then security and a police officer brings Saxe's niece up to his office. Apparently she was in Central Park trying to buy weed, and she's mouthing off to the police officer saying maybe if they smoked a little weed, you know, they wouldn't be such haters. Apparently this isn't the first time either. He says that he will call her mom, and she begs him not to, and he says there's something she can do for him in order for him to stay quiet, and he's gonna get his niece to tell Tyreek. What an idiot. Like, y'all, I just know this isn't going to work out in his favor in one way or another. Because eventually somebody is going to figure out that that's your niece who you sent to befriend him and his little friend Braden, basically. Find out who his friends are. Davis is questioning Rodriguez in front of the judge, who tells them about the phone Saxe planted on James St. Patrick, but she didn't see it, so they couldn't use that. So Rodriguez then tells them about the bug that he planted on Lisa Marie, y'all know Joseph Proctor's daughter, and how she actually found the bug in his office after, you know, Lisa Marie's mama was dead. Then She tells the judge and Davis about how Rashad Tate lied to prove that James had motive to kill Terry Silver, and he basically led him and gave him all of the stuff that he was willing to say. Sachs brings up all the things that Blanca did, including those same tactics that she used against Andre Coleman. The judge is sending his transcript to Rodriguez's supervisor and allowing Tate to testify to the conversation. And I was like, why is it that Rodriguez gets punished for the same shit that we here to prove that Sachs did? We just proved he did it, but somehow he's still not in as much trouble as Blanca? That didn't make no sense. So Tate tells Mock and Connor to make this situation go away because he found out the judge has subpoenaed him and wants him to, have a conversation about whatever the conversation was between him and Sachs. So he runs up on Mock and Connor, and they basically like, yeah, you're going to have to get up there and lie. Okay, I know you don't want to, but we don't give a shit. You're going to get up there and lie and act as if, James was a Boy Scout when he just said that James was a murdering, psychopathic drug dealer that put hands on his wife. Like, at the end of the day, that's the truth of the matter. But I'll still get up there and lie because I want to be a governor so damn bad. So Brayden tells Tyreek that they're out of drugs and campus is trying to turn up, so they need to get more product. Then he runs into Paula, who asks where he's getting his money from, and he cries and says that he stole it from his grandmother because she was the only one getting paid from his father's estate, which we all know is a lie. But the fact that he was so quick on his feet with a reason, I tell you, boy. But Paula still didn't believe him because when she went to give him the cash back and told him that she needs a wire transfer, and it's also that they can have a paper trail, which he should have known wasn't a good idea. Like, either take the money as cash or don't take it at all. But I ain't about to argue with you about the way you get paid, okay? Like, y'all take cash. Why is you arguing with me about this, okay? But anyway, when he went to put the money in his book bag, she saw a little toolie that was in his bag. He must have went and picked up a gun from one of them spots that Tasha told him about. So now Tyreek has to get more drugs, and he has to get a portion of the money from the app wired to him so that he can wire it to Paula and them, okay? So he calls Bash, and Bash is like, oh, we making a whole lot of money, but it seems as if you're changing the rules. You need some of the money wired now instead of all cash, so now I want 15% because you need something else. So he finally gets the 15% that he wanted. I'm like, I can tell Bash gonna work on my damn nerves. So I told y'all that Drew went to the basketball player's room and they started getting into it, right? Right in the middle of it, his phone starts ringing. Tyreek had been blowing his phone up, needing more product. So he calls Diana thinking that he's having a private conversation with her, but Monet had her phone. So Monet says, I'm answering it on speakerphone so she can hear what Drew was saying. And Drew asked Diana to come down to the school with more drugs. So Monet says, get in and get out. Do you hear me? And she says, okay. But I ain't the one that you need to be worried about, okay? Because obviously Drew is down at the campus doing something, but he ain't doing what he was supposed to be doing down there. So that should let you know something. So Diana shows up to Tyreek's room with the product, and then they make out, Like, what else are they going to do? They make out. Drew knocks on the door and asks what they were doing, and Diana was like, don't worry about what we was doing. Where was you? Tyreek was like, let me get y'all cut of the money. Let me go ahead and handle that. So, y'all, we see Tate on the stand lying, saying that Tasha threatened him. And then he says that James was a pillar of the community and an inspiration to all young black men that are trying to get out of the trappings of the hood. And Davis tells him on his way out that he's a lying ass. And I was like, I know that's right. You's a lying motherfucker. You know you lying. So when Drew got home, he jumps in the shower. Monet is outside the shower talking to him. And she asks where the money is. So she goes in his bag to get the money, and inside the bag is the picture he drew of the basketball player. So she goes back into the bathroom and she says to him, everybody is not like your family, so please don't be out here telling everybody your business. You come home always, okay? You always come home. And what that mean is you could be out here sleeping with whoever you want to sleep with, but please do not think that you can tell everybody your damn business, because once they find out what you really into, their perspective of you will change, and their reaction to you will change, and all that loyalty won't mean a damn thing. So Tyreek is running to meet with the professors at Lauren's house. He's late, okay? He tried to get some flowers before he got there, but the place was closed. But when he gets there, Lauren has a little attitude that he was late. Thanks for you finally joining us, Tyreek. But he sits down at the table with the two professors and her parents. And her parents are annoying as hell, like so judgmental. I'm wondering if the dad is gay and using the mom as a beard because like y'all are doing the most, okay? They pressure him a little bit, about information about a book, but he tells them his perspective very eloquently, I might add, and impresses them. Then Lauren's dad mentions that they've been following his mom's case, and that it was such a well done, a good job for him to get Davis for his unfortunate mother. And I'm like, if I unfortunate, I know that's white people speak for you trying to diss my mama, okay? But we find out that Professor Milgram knows Davis, and she says a win for Davis isn't always a win for his clients. And she says that he should be careful. Professor Reynolds says that, well, y'all know Professor Milgram wrote the book on helping others, especially after that ostentatious visual that she threw for Tyreek's father in the middle of the quad. They ask about Reynolds' second book, and Professor Milgram says, oh, well, it's already came and gone. So they are basically throwing slugs this entire uncomfortable ass dinner. Okay, I was like, wow, y'all really have no decorum about y'all selves if y'all think that y'all are getting away with all these little jabs y'all throwing at one another. Lauren and Tyreek excuse themselves, and she talks to him about how she's scared she's going to end up somewhere like her brother, in a facility, after he basically broke under all the pressure that their parents put on them. He tells her about how his dad was trying to run his life before he died. And she said, well, how did you get him to back off? And he was like, well, he died. I mean, he didn't say I killed his ass, but that's what he meant. So, y'all, Lauren and Tyreek have a little flirtation, a little kiss, a little puck, mwah, mwah. Okay? And then someone rings the bell. Guess who it is, y'all? It's Lauren's little uptight, stiff-necked ass boyfriend. I was just like, oh, wow. Okay? He knew who the professors were already. They still shading each other. And then he's like, oh, wow, is this the student who you were always tutoring, Lauren? Nice to meet you. And he's like, no, that's not him. That's not him. And once she goes to tend to her boyfriend, Tyreek kind of sneaks out. Then we see Reynolds and Milgram go back to her place to argue further about her identity crisis and him fucking his students. And he says that you hate me because you want to be with me. And it's like, I know that feeling. And so then they fight, and then they have sex. And it was really hot, and I was feeling it. And I was like, oh. So then Sack sends his niece to spy on Tyreek at a party, and she walks over to him in Braden and says that, you have a really dark energy. And he's like, yeah, no. And then he walks away, and she acted as if he was an asshole. And it's like, I'm a black man, and your white ass come up to me talking about I got a dark energy. You should be glad I didn't call you a bitch, and walk away. Okay? Like, get out of here with that. But anyway, she seems to take a liking to Braden, and Braden seems to take a liking to her. Meanwhile, Tyreek is telling people that Braden is the one selling drugs. So eventually it gets back to, Scott, the original drug dealer, and he goes over to Braden to try to fight him. And, they get into a fight, and he kind of got the best of Braden for a second, but ultimately Braden ended up beating his ass, and the homeboys had to come and get Braden off of him. So it gives him this moment, where he's like, get him out of here, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Braden is also a legacy. So he's not going to get away with beating that boy up. Eventually, we're going to see him getting suspended from school. And basically, Tyreek's whole thing was to get Scott, the competition, out of the way. And that's exactly what he did. Also, while bolstering his friend Braden's reputation with the girl and probably with the rest of campus. But the girl ain't stupid. She peeped Tyreek in the corner the whole time, took a picture of him, and sent it to Sax. So y'all, Davis and Paula are also having a lot of sex. And y'all know that's all we needed was to see. All we needed to see was Method Man having sex. Oh, God. He's still so damn fine, y'all. Oh, it hurts to be here. Did y'all see the tattoo on his back? Yo, okay, I love me some Method Man, y'all. I had to rewind it a few times. Anyway. But yes, him and his investigator Paula are sleeping together. And after they finish getting into it, she reminds him to put his wedding ring back on. And that's when we find out that Davis is also married. She got a notification on her phone, while they were doing it from Tyreek that said he sent the wire transfer over. So they get the idea that the only person who is squeaky clean enough to get to testify against Sax is Tamika. So they send her flowers, and then they send her a subpoena. And she was so mad, and I was like, yes, subpoena Tina Tamika. She knows so much, and she's gonna have to say it. I can't wait. This might be a win for Tasha. So later on, Tyreek and Lauren are in class, and he's playing it cool, and she don't really know how to act, okay? But she sits down next to him, and he says he's not tripping about her boyfriend, okay? We all got options. We young, you know, but he's not backing down from a competition. And then Diana is texting his phone, and she's like, who's Diana? He said, like I said, we got options. But yeah, y'all, that was it. The show is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying the reviews. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Mwah!